What is happening, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today we are going to be covering some of my favorite affordable knives that are available right now, and they're coming in with a great price tag. We're going to kick this one off with something that's fairly new to the channel and me, the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. And although I'm very familiar with the Big Brother, the original Beluga, I just got this and it is fantastic. The size is great. If we're talking about just purely EDC carrying and using for everyday, day-to-day type tasks, this is a great size, great blade shape, 14C 28N on the steel, which is a fantastic user steel. We have a fuller and very minimal front flipper tab, and you can reverse flick, thumb flick, and do all the front flipper things your little heart desires. This thing is tuned extremely well and is very snappy. I love how they keep the show side of the blade pretty well clean. They just have their little logo up there, and that is no big deal to me at all. Then you have the little PF there on the pivot. I think it looks clean. It looks good. We have G Mascus for the handle material, orange and black G Mascus. And then we have an ultra deep carry reversible pocket clip, and it is recessed behind the scales, which is a nice touch. Screws are recessed as well. And then we also have a G10 backspacer with a little lanyard loop back there. The Mini Beluga is stunningly awesome. The next one up is also a fairly new one to the channel. This is the Rhino. Now, this is not the button-actuated liner lock version because I can't trust that one yet. This one I can trust. D2 steel. You have a rear flipper, thumb studs, and cutout. Drop point blade in D2 that has a nice PVD coating, so you will not have to worry about any corrosion issues, which is what D2's main downfall is, the corrosion issues, and a good coating will help you maintain that and kind of keep it at bay. We have some nice textured G10 handles. The chamfered ends or edges are nice and softened. We also have a deep carry pocket clip here that will be reversible. Great access to that liner with a chamfer on that guy. Pocket clip is your standard affair for most of these affordable knives. Just a standard deep carry rollover clip. Then we have a G10 backspacer with a little hidden lanyard hole. These come in between 40 and 50 bucks. This one came rock solid out of the box and came with a nice edge. Detent is tuned very well, and for $40-ish, I say this is definitely one to take a look at. Now we'll step down a little bit more in the pricing and touch on one of Kaiser's ultra affordable knives here. And this would be a great user. It comes in right around the $40 mark, maybe even a little less depending on if you can get it with a coupon code. But we have a nicely finished satin 9CR blade, sheep split, and a very utilitarian driven style of blade. You have dual thumb studs for the deployment. Kaiser's typical action on this guy. It's nice and snappy and all but fall shut. Very nice and controlled action. Great detent on this guy. And then you have textured G10 handles here, open construction. You have a deep carry clip that sits on top of the scales there, but the screws are recessed and it will be reversible. Good access to the liner there with the chamfer on that guy. If you're looking for a utilitarian type knife, a utility style EDC knife, and you don't want to break the bank, this is definitely one that I would consider. It's comfortable, plenty of edge there to get any job done that you would typically need to do day to day. And you'll get a nice amount of sharpening out of this guy. Studs are comfortable. And for the price tag of these, to get Kaiser's build quality, 9CR isn't the best steel or anything like that, but 9CR is not bad at all around that price point. Definitely a high recommendation from me. Next up, we got a Ganzo, and this is the F753M, coming in 440C. And guys, I had the bigger brother of this knife a year or two ago, and it was phenomenal. But I'm digging this size even a little bit more, even though I like a little bit bigger knife. I'm starting to get into the knives that, for EDC purposes, where they fit your hand very, very well, and they give you plenty of edge there to get any job done that you could potentially do with this guy. We have a nicely finished drop point blade. You have a swedge going to the tip, dual thumb studs for deployment. You'll get a lot of sharpening life out of this. And 440C at 25 to 30 bucks is not a bad steal at all. It doesn't have the best edge retention, but you'll be able to easily get an edge back on this guy. And I really like what they're doing with some of these newer models. It's just very well finished. Everything is executed very well, and Ganzo does a good job on the steels that they use and how they treat them. The crossbar lock is done very well. You can tell the springs are nice and strong, and all the tolerances are proper. It needs broken in. This is a little bit newer to me, but I know the older brother to this knife was fantastic. The first knife I ever put an edge on, and it came out very nicely. They offer a couple different colors of G10, and then we have open construction here, and then a lower mounted clip with the lanyard hole. This guy will be reversible though, and coming in at that crazy price tag of like 25, 30 bucks, this knife is not going to be something to look away from if you're in that market and looking for something that will be a great user that you will not have to worry about, something happening to it. Next up is a knife that I don't have a ton of time with, but in my short time with it and at its price tag, I've become a pretty big fan of this guy. Coming in D2 steel, we have the Free Tiger FT41. Very reminiscent of like a Ganzo, but these are coming in like $20 or so, which is insane. If the D2 is done right, we have a fantastic offering from Free Tiger. We have this nice high flipper tab way above the pivot. It's tuned pretty well. You can get a ton of leverage on these thumb studs as well, as they've chamfered this area out very nicely. Good access to the liner with a chamfer. You can get a ton of leverage on these thumb studs just because of the way this is designed. So it is fun to flick open and, fidget with this guy. We have G10 handles here, nice thick steel liners, and then the pocket clip's not the greatest aesthetic, right? But it's easy in, easy out of the pocket. You have a little bit sticking up there, but nothing, it's not bad at all. It is a nice minimal clip, and in my opinion, it doesn't really look that bad either, at the price point. And then we have a geared G10 backspacer, and these come in at an insanely low cost. If you're looking for something that can be a user, that's not going to break the bank. Solid lockup on this guy as well. It came centered. It came with a nice edge on it. They nailed this one, guys. The Free Tiger FT41. I'm interested in checking out some more of Free Tiger's knives to see what they got going on. But this one, so far, off early impressions, I'm really liking what they are offering. This one easily makes the list. This is the CJB Hect, coming in right around 50 bucks, guys. RPM 9 steel with a nicely finished satin drop point blade. I love this blade shape. Tons of sharpening life in this guy. You do have kind of a partial finger choil here. Pill-shaped hole for deployment. I've had some people ask, can you get to that easily and so on? Is it hard to get to it? And because of the way this is chamfered out here on both sides, it's really, you just kind of hit that chamfer and then you're right there on the rim or the edge of the spine. And I have not missed or had an issue with this at all. Now, it's not the best access like a Spyderco might be or what have you, but it works. It works fine. You can get right on the edge of that spine, and the spring strength in this crossbar lock is great. I don't know if this one's adjustable like Kaiser and Kubi are doing right now. We have textured G10, open construction, deep carry clip that's going to be reversible. For $50 to get RPM 9, a solid crossbar lock, and a nice satin finish with G10, and you're getting CJRB's build quality. This thing is awesome if you are in the market for a crossbar lock with some decent materials at that $50-ish price point. No flipper tab to deal with. You just have the cutout, good, strong lockout on this guy. I high recommend from me. Now, we're going back into the vault a little bit here with this one. But the Harns Talisman, guys, you can routinely get this for around $30 to $40. And what you're getting for your money is insane. You're getting a nice drop point blade with a satin finish. You're going to be getting 14C 28N steel that is well done. I've had this knife for quite a while and I have used it and used it. The finish is held up. The 14C is as it should be. Flipper tab for deployment, so this will be for our flipper brothers only out here. And then we have aluminum pivot collars. Contoured G10 that is very well finished. They have a couple different flavors of this guy. You have a half-length geared G10 backspacer with nice thick slabs of G10 and thick slabs of steel for your liners. And then you have some internal triangular milling in there for weight relief. You have a nice deep carry clip that is going to be recessed behind the scales, and you have recessed screws there. It's not going to be left-hand friendly on the carry end, but at this price tag to get 14C and all the accoutrements that this has, the Contour G10, the G10 backspacer, the ultra deep carry clip, the 14C. This thing is just knocked out of the park. It's a full-size knife, and for the money, this thing is hard to beat. My only nitpick with this thing would be to get the Harns off the front. You have the H on the pivot, which looks great. I would say get that off there, and this is a fine specimen, but I'm giving it a pass because of the price. I can overlook that, for the $30-$40 price point of this guy. Great little EDC knife right here in the Harns Talisman. And guys, this is one you'll be seeing a lot this year. This will probably make it to the end of the year as one of the best affordable / budget knives of the entire year. I'm calling it now. Megaron and their Moyero. It was a huge hit in 2023. And now that they've added the crossbar lock, they've added micarta, they're starting to do satin finishes, they're starting to do this gray PVD coating. This is going to be a prime example of what Megaron has coming down the pipe, I feel. If they're going to keep doing this for the money and throwing a milled titanium clip on there with micarta, 14C, satin finishes, gray PVDs, black PVDs, backspacers for like $55, guys. It's going to be unbeatable. Nobody will be able to compete with these and with Migron, if they don't start making some changes. Yeah, sure, some companies offer 14C and micarta and G10 for $60, $70, maybe even $50, but you sure as hell are not getting a titanium milled clip with that. They would be upcharging you another $15 probably for that milled clip. Migron is absolutely slaying it. 14C 28N, great drop point blade. And I think this is only the start of what Migron has for us this year. And if that's the case, I am truly excited. This thing is just badass, all to hell. Love the new Migron Moero, and their new micarta is just some great, great looking stuff. I really am a huge fan of Migron and what they are doing. Let me know down in the comments, what are some of your favorite affordable knives right now? I gotta know. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button as well. It really helps the videos get out there to more people, and it helps the channel and me out. So might as well hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, or you've been here before and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below the video. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.